Back to School Survival Guide for Children with ADHD. Hey there, I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, the start of the school year can be really exciting, but it can also be fairly nerve-wracking for children with ADHD. So it's important for us to be able to help our kids start that year on a positive note so that our children feel safe, happy, and are excited to be there so that they can learn. Now, it's important for teachers and parents to support our kids right from day one so that they are set up for success. So today we're going to be looking at a survival guide that I've put together. It's not a lot, just 3 steps so that you and your children can get started on a strong footing right away. So this is curated with proven strategies for children with ADHD, and it's really designed to help your children build their self-confidence and resilience as they understand the routines that you've set in place for them. Okay, so what I really want you to caution you though is, since each child is different, their needs are different, please make sure you adapt all the strategies to meet the needs of your child. Okay, let's get started. Number 1 is find the superpower. So many kids see having ADHD as defining them as a weakness, but it's not. I want you to teach your children that ADHD doesn't define who they are. It's just a different way that they learn and different way that their brain processes information. Okay, so I want you to show them that their curiosity, their energy, their creativity, all of it can actually be their strength. This is so important in developing their confidence because it can it can really help them when they are struggling to focus. Okay. Number 2 is to create a routine. So here, creating a routine is so important for children to feel like they understand what's happening. It gives them stability, and so it's important for us to start with just a few steps and build on it. So for example, if you're home, then teach your children to when they after they brush their teeth, when they wake up, they brush their teeth, and then they have breakfast, and teach them to do this every single day, right? This is the order. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you have breakfast. Wake up, brush your teeth, have breakfast. This is the order they practice every day. And then don't move on to the next step until after. So if you're at school, you're going to be teaching them perhaps to hang up their backpacks, take out their planners, and start their morning work. Okay, and they do this every single morning until they've got this part actually set in place, and then you move on to the next step. So really important to create a routine for them to be able to know exactly what they need to do first thing when they arrive either at school or when they wake up in the morning. The second thing that you want to do is show them what their structure for the day is going to look like so that they know what is expected of them. And I like to do that by creating a visual schedule on the board at home, or maybe in their room if they're at home, or on the board if they're in the classroom. Sorry about that. So if you want a visual schedule that's ADHD friendly, check out the link in the description and go to step number 2 where it says create a routine, because using visual cues is really going to help children with ADHD thrive, and that's what we want. Okay, it also is going to help with the 3rd step, which is called simplify work time. So here, work time, whether it's in your home or at school, needs to be manageable. So we're going to do 2 different things. First is we're going to create a quiet study space for them. So if you're at home, maybe it's at the dining room table. I find that to be a bit noisy sometimes, but if it's at the dining room table, nobody else is going to be there, and it's going to be quiet time, or maybe it's a separate space in their room. Or if it's at school, I've created a little space very close to my desk so that children can sit there if they need help, but it's also a great space for them to just sit and be quiet. Because I don't really like a lot of noise around my area anyway, so that's their quiet space. So it's really important to have that quiet space. And then the second thing is to make sure that they have, they know what their big tasks are, and then they also know what their smaller tasks are, right? So you're taking big tasks and creating smaller segments for it, so it's chunkable and it serves as a motivator for them. And then you're going to take the next part is, if they've accomplished certain tasks, not all of them because it becomes too much, but perhaps they've accomplished 3 tasks, then they get a reward. And you're going to be creating a reward system for them, and you're going to discuss what that reward system is in advance. Now, if you want to be able to do that in a quick way, I've created all of that all in the visual schedule resource. And again, go to the link in the description where it says for step number 2, where it says create a routine, get the visual schedule, and the visual schedule is for either home or classroom. It's designed for both. And you also get the reward system so that you're able to implement everything quickly and you know if your kids are able to accomplish things. And of course, you're going to revise this, the routine and the tasks, the chunkable tasks, on a daily basis based on your children, their needs, their IEPs, and so forth. Okay, so let's recap really quickly what we've talked about for today's survival guide. We've looked at why it's important to help our children with ADHD transition from their summer to back to school, and we've looked at 3 ways that we're going to do that. Number 1 is find the superpower. So we're looking at their strengths. Number 2 is create a routine, and number 3 is to simplify work time, which we broke down to 2 segments, which is creating a quiet space and also chunking out the work for them. Sorry, I guess it's 3 segments because we also looked at a reward system for this as well. All right, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions in the meantime, please remember to send me a message. Remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Take care, my friends. Thank you. Bye-bye.